Okay, we're going to try to do a quick video on the GearPods modular survival system that I had in my bug out bag video. It's basically just all redundant survival gear that sits in the bottom of that bag. This is not something that I would have gone out and purchased. I think it was either a gift or I got it for buying a certain amount of stuff, or somehow I ended up with it without intentionally buying it. You can find this obviously online, but it's basically a modular system. There's all kinds of shelter, first aid, cooking, survival, etc., etc. There's all navigation. I think they might have a pod, and it's all different sizes. This one's maybe like 7 or 8 inches. This is 3 inches right here. This one, and you can stick them together. You can run them individually. It's a pretty nifty idea. I don't think, no matter how you configure it, that it, you would want to rely on this, for survival. There's some cool stuff in there, but I'd also like this, before I get too far into opening it up, this is a Gen 1 version. I got this as soon as it came out, I think, which is why I got it from some kind of promotional deal. But it's not, the quality of these lids and whatnot are not great. Like, this is supposed to be threaded down, but it's not, and you could easily strip this out. In theory, it should be watertight. There's an O-ring in here, a little seal, but the way it is, it's not great. It's fine, for what I'm doing with it. But they build this as a one-stop, all your survival needs met in a very small container. Okay, container's probably 3 inches or so in diameter. This one contains the cook kit. Again, it's the Gen 1 version of the cook kit. It contains first aid, and it contains the survival pod. All right, so let's break this down, take a little look at it. Obviously, you can open from the top or the bottom. I chose to break it down like that. Okay, that's what that looks like. As always, I'm doing this in a awkward position, so the camera's inverted. So when I try to center stuff, I'm probably going to go to the edge. But, quality vid. What else would you expect from old TH? Also, as typical, this is my free time at my kids' piano lessons. I'm sitting in the back of my Jeep and using the front seat as my passenger seat as my work area. So, oh no, this isn't survival. This is the medical stuff. Let's see what's in here. Some athletic tape. Okay, this is like a 1/2 inch by 2.5 yards, I believe. That's what it says on the inside ring there. And again, I've had this for a long time, so probably some of this medicine is expired. A couple Q-tips. And again, since this was a Gen 1, whatever's in the new one, you'd have to look online because it's probably a little different. And some sunburn relief. Let's see. Just your basic knuckle bandage. Insect towelette. Some of this stuff I might have added in here on my own too. Cortical is just like hydrocortisone cream, anti-itch, what have you. This is poison oak cleaner. I'm pretty sure that as part of my my job, I'm given a lot of PPE, which for all kinds of stuff. Like I get cleats for the bottom of my boots, like the Yak Tracks. You get like this stuff, all kinds of nonsense they're like constantly giving you, which is nice. Desiccant, piece of moleskin, and a Swiss Army tweezer, always useful. Iodine wipe, antibiotic ointment. This didn't come with, I don't know. Again, some of this stuff might have just come out of other first aid kits too. So again, not going to be particularly helpful since all of this has changed. You know, this says that the expiration date is 3/11 on there, so this is like from 2010 probably. This GearPods. Another iodine wipe, sting relief. This is probably the sting relief that came with it. Alcohol swab, little baby bandage, burn cream, lip ointment, which is just like chapstick basically in a little tube. More sunscreen lotion. Couple gauze pads, some regular Band-Aids, some Motrin. Yeah, look at this. This is Purell. This is from 09 was the expiration date on that. And so yeah, this might be from 2008 even. It is old. Alright, we're at Tylenol, alcohol swab. Okay, that's everything that was. Put this all back together later. That's everything that was in the first aid thing. Okay, little stuff sack, obviously. Okay, and then this one, take both caps off because it's easier to push the stove out. Okay, this is the cup. It's got a little lid, little sippy lid, little vent hole, whatever. That always hurts my finger when I pull that out of there. Not a good design. I think they've changed the design of this since this. This stove, and the stove in the cup, it had a neoprene little wrap around the top here so you would not burn your fingers or what have you when you're doing it. I've boiled water in this a bunch of times, and you probably won't be able to see it really well, but the paint or the coating or whatever totally flaked off and was in the water. I mean, you'd probably want to filter it at a minimum. I think you'd want to filter it through a bandana or something before you drank out of this thing. I mean, I don't know if it was the death by dehydration and drinking some paint chips or not drinking at all. I'd probably drink the dirty water if I could filter it through something, or even without, really. I mean, if push came to shove. So that's the cup, that's the lid, right? You can't have the lid on when you're boiling water. This is the rest of the stove. Okay. It's got the cheesy windscreen / tinfoil. This is the stove itself. This little ring goes on here like this. Okay. Then these legs, I want to say the legs go on like this. This is hard to do from my current position. Okay, they go all the way around. Like so. To stabilize it. Okay, there's 4 of them. Right? You guys get the idea. And then, well, I'm having a hard time orienting this. Anyway, this gets set on there. And, you would boil water. What would you use for fuel? You could use wood. By the way, I think this is the factory windscreen. This is probably crappy tinfoil. Oh, look, here's the GearPods neoprene thing. There's no way this was going to stand up to the heat, So I don't know why they put that on there. Kind of ridiculous. It's got these little solid fuel little blocks. That's what you're supposed to use. But I normally have some kind of MSR pocket rocket or something that I boiled water with this. Because, like I said, this could get the job done. Probably would get the job done in a real pinch, but it's not, you wouldn't want to intentionally go out and try to camp for a weekend with the stuff in these GearPods. I don't think. It'd be a better survivalist than I am. Not that I'm a survivalist at all. Okay, so that's what's in there. That's the cook kit. That. Okay, this is the survival part of it. Some, useful stuff in here, but we'll go over it. Obviously, stuff sack. Okay. That's just a little bag for who knows what reason. This is a wet fire tinder. Little fishing kit, some hooks, some fishing line, and some split shot. Little button compass. To be honest, these things are kind of crappy, but it's probably 4:30, 4:45, and the sun is like right out that way, so it's semi-accurate. I mean, it'll give you a good cardinal direction. I wouldn't, very, very gross direction. Duct tape. Little whistle. Whoops. Little whistle. Tea candle. Snare wire. Sewing kit. Some buttons, a needle, a little miniature safety pin. Some storm matches. Striker. Flashlight. Still works. Should probably go like that. Okay. I think it's like 1700 lumens. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. The fact that it's still working for as old as this is pretty amazing, I think. A little tiny pencil and some paper. Some Catadine water tablets and a water pouch. Probably a 1 liter water pouch, I would guess. Some more desiccant. Little ferro rod. Signal mirror. It's got stuff over it. Has the aiming hole. I don't know, obviously there's plastic on it, but after you peel that off, I don't know how great that would be, how far it would reach out, but something's better than nothing. Your little saber saw. Little metal saw there. You can use it on wood, obviously. In case you want to break out of prison with that. And your typical little razor saw in there. And then some cordage. Actually have the little things that sit in here, I guess, originally tell you what's in there. But, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, inside that thing, there's, let's see, it's waterproof paper, it says on here. It's not just crappy regular paper. 25 feet of braided nylon line, 70-pound breaking strength. 25 feet of galvanized steel wire, which we saw. 6 feet of duct tape. 10 storm matches. So, all that other good stuff. On this side, there's some basic signaling. How to do Morse code with the mirror. Whatever. And that's really it. So, if you guys have seen that Get Home Bag video, you know that this is not like a standalone item for me. Realistically, could it get you through an overnight, maybe 2 nights in the woods or on the side of the road by your car or something? I guess you certainly wouldn't be comfortable. And I personally, I like to be a little more prepared than what's in here. But since I have it, and what else would I do with it? It sits in that bag and provides a lot of good backup stuff. So there you go. And I guess at some point I ought to take a trip to the dollar store and get some cheap, crappy first aid stuff to replenish all that expired stuff that was in that first aid pod. But it's okay. Thanks for watching. Hope that wasn't too boring. I wouldn't run out and buy one of these, but everybody has their own opinion on it, I guess. Thanks again for watching. You guys have a great evening. Take care.